Let's go. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Bryant Ferate podcast. Today is day one, and it is my first time just ripping a podcast that is going to be one take, no cuts. So today is the recap of my month of March, which I started this newsletter, weekly newsletter that I email out that was inspired by Noah Cracknell. And basically, it's just a short recap of key performance indicators or KPIs, and then a little bit of insight into what's going on with my life. Which, um, before we dive into that, though, I wanted to go over the one take, no cuts. So we're testing this thing out. It's inspired from Zach Pogrob, who you guys may know from social media on Twitter and Instagram. He is the guy that's diving into all things obsession. So he's posting the Run Cult in New York. It is the white photos that are in like handwriting. That's all about obsession. I post a lot of them on my Instagram story or send them to my buddies. But he came up with this idea, which I think is incredible in just building confidence. It's like, why do you get butterflies uh, when you record a? It's like, why do you get nervous when you record a selfie video on your phone or like this if you know that you can't go back and edit it? But for me, like recording a podcast might be easy. So one of his challenges is you just record like the authentic instead of these super edited videos or edited podcasts or cut. You can only post it if it's perfect. He has this challenge where it's one take, no cuts. So he also like pulled that from Sam Solik, the bodybuilder. Sahil Bloom has been doing that 100 days in a row. When he's what's it called? I'm blanking right now. When he's doing like a cold exposure, or he's in the cold tub, he'll do like a 3 to 8 minute video that's just, hey, what's up? Bang, bang, bang on a topic that he's thinking about. So we're testing that and we're going to release those as more of these podcast episodes with the videos. And why not do it with my March recap? So, yeah, March, happy April. And March was a big month. I got 150 miles in with my running. The boys and I have been prepping for the Eugene Marathon, which is April 28th. We have a squad of about 10. We know a couple other people going, but over 10 people are running the marathon or the half marathon. And I'm going to write more of an article as well as a little ramp up to that, just because, yes, the marathon's exciting. Yeah, the day before will be exciting, but honestly, the the best part has been spending all this time together, training, prepping, getting those long runs in, and just spending more time together. So, real quick recap of the KPIs is I ran 150 miles in the month of March. I took over 600,000 steps. My resting heart rate was 50, which is bad. We need to clean up the sleeping, the sleep hygiene, eating late, and drinking alcohol. All of those really, like eating late, drinking alcohol, and not sleeping great, like that's adding like 4 or 5 to the resting heart rate. So 50 is not cutting it. Um, as well as I had 3 Cosube burritos. There's a pod that's going to be dropping soon with Cosube, which is coffee surf beer. Uh, the founder and the creator, the owner of Cosube, is going to be on the pod for episode 70. And then the last couple were I had a couple handful of podcasts, like 3 or 4 podcasts posted in the month of March and 3 or 4 articles written. Both of those are going to be ramping up even more. And then last but not least, I traveled to Las Vegas and Manhattan, Kansas for March. But yeah, March was a crazy month. So University of Portland women's basketball representing right now. They we end up getting 3 dubs and winning the championship. So we're back-to-back champs. We won the championship 3 out of the last 5 years, and we punched our ticket to March Madness. So it was pretty crazy. Just the backstory. We played our best basketball in March, which is all you can ask for. We did hit like a tough spot. We had a 4-game losing streak towards the end of the season where we were not playing that great of basketball. We even lost by 50 points at Gonzaga 10 days prior to playing them in the championship. And it was just crazy. We beat Gonzaga in the championship again for back-to-back. So last year we beat them in the championship, as well as this year to be back-to-back champs. And then we were the 13th seed. So we played Kansas State at Kansas State. We ended up losing in the first round, but March Madness. It was an awesome experience being able to go out there. Even got some runs in to prepare for the Eugene Marathon and just spend some quality time with the team and the coaching staff. Is crazy. I remember when I first got hired at UP, we were the bottom of the league. So it's been crazy these past 5 years to 3 rings in 5 years is pretty nuts. But on top of that, I got to see some podcast guests live in real life. I know we're going a little bit into February, but I got to see Mike Nielsen at Gonzaga. I got to see Tommy Musto in LA. And then I got to see Stetson. So Mike Rich flew down to Vegas. And during our time at the WCC tournament, we got to grab some beers, grab some food, and catch up with Stetson. And the best part is just talking about how we can optimize our life. How do we optimize our reading, connecting with people? And it's just really, it's an insane experience meeting someone and connecting with them on Twitter, having them on the podcast, and then you meet them in person. I just really appreciate all of those people, all those relationships, and how special that was. Where Stetson's from Vegas, so he came out, kicked it, and we got to just connect over the projects we're trying to build and the steps we're trying to move forward. But yeah, the other crazy part about March is I became a homeowner. So I purchased my first property, which is exciting. I would say the first week of moving in, it felt like an Airbnb. And in some ways, I don't know if this is like when you get a pay raise or you get that big stuff, but to be honest, I felt like I would feel different. And in some ways, it's I'm super grateful. I'm excited. And in other ways, it kind of reminds you to focus on the things that do make you feel different, like your core values or your relationships, the things that are truly important to you. I think it will come around. It's just going to take some time. Like by all means, I'm extremely grateful that I was able to do that. I think I just thought I'd be like, whoa, I feel different. But in reality, I think it's still settling in. The biggest change was like having your friends come over and just kick it and be like, dang, dude, this is sick. So that's been incredible. And yeah, I think one of the other biggest parts was this quote I've been thinking about a lot, which is, if you're in your head, you're dead. So it's really, whether it's one take, no cuts, or it's overthinking situations and telling yourself stories that aren't real, or asking yourself as you create these narratives in your head, is this true? Is this 100% true? 100% guilty of that. Just overthinking scenarios and trying to work through things in your head, and really leaning on, it's like, dude, go journal, go work out, go hang out with your friends, go work out again, go run, go sauna, invest in yourself, and get out of your head. Because if you're in your head, you're dead. I wrote this many times, and I've said this in podcasts, but it's like George Mack has said, trying to think your way out of an overthinking problem is trying to snort your way out of a cocaine problem. So it's like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, it's not going to work. So you got to do something to remove yourself from that cycle of thinking. And that's something I really had to practice in the month of March, just with travel. I was really overthinking the podcast. Just honestly, I wasn't having that much luck with lining up guests. And then I was just kind of beating myself up of like, all right, you're in a hotel room, you're in Spokane, you're in LA, you're in Vegas, and you don't know how long you're going to be there, because if we lose, we fly home. If we win, we continue to stay. So we were there Thursday to Tuesday night. And then same thing, we fly out, find out where you're going that week. We fly to Kansas. Not that they're excuses. I think it's just learning from my experience of, dang, dude, you gotta create a system so you can be more efficient when you're traveling on the road, whether that's for writing or the podcast, and just reminding yourself, like, action is the antidote. I wouldn't say it's anxiety. I would just say it's a lot of extra energy of thinking. And instead of thinking, you just got to do. Like, instead of thinking about what to write, you just start writing. Instead of thinking about what to podcast about, you just podcast. You just do this thing right here. So, yeah, that was my recap of March. I really appreciate you checking out the newsletter and checking out this pod, and me being a little bit better on growing the YouTube. But that was my recap. It's big things coming up is the podcast is going to start ramping up even more. I'm going to pump out a few more episodes. They might do a lot more solo episodes these next few weeks. And then after the Eugene Marathon, definitely going to have the Eugene Marathon recap podcast episodes, which are going to be elite. And yeah, the writing. I'm in a course with David Perel's course, Rite of Passage. So I really believe that is going to help me improve my craft of clarity and being specific on my core idea. And I'm excited to share that with you guys as well. But thank you so much for checking this out. And it's my first attempt at the one take, no cuts. But appreciate it. Keep killing it, everybody, and keep stacking those daily deposits and making every day the best day of the year. Until tomorrow. Peace.